Welcome to the USA Softball of Oregon College Exposure 2020 Fall Classic with live streaming coverage brought to you by TravelMedford.org. Today's event is produced by Table Rock Sports in partnership with Travel Medford, the Southern Oregon Sports Commission, and Southern Oregon University. I'm Jeff Smith. I'm joined by Chris Campbell on camera and Abby Lewis on color. Abby from the SOU softball program. We got the whole SOU softball program out here all weekend long. They're working harder than we are. They had clinics all day on Friday, and they're here again today. They were here all day yesterday, and a walk to start things off. This is the batting is the Oregon Blaze Gold team. They were the number 2 team out of Pool E. And we're waiting on lineups as we've done all the weekend long.
I hear that behind home plate they're pretty slow back there.
But those are
they're not my teammates or anything, so don't tell them I said that.
But they will get to us. So we'll go with the numbers we've got here, but unfortunately some uniform numbers are not what the rosters say are not what the lineup cards say. So we'll catch up as we can. In fact, I don't have a number 3. And our visiting team, our home team out in the field is the number 1 team out of Pool D, and that is the Northwest Vandals.
I think yesterday we had, 40-something games going yesterday between all 8 fields. So each pool has been super competitive.
Hard grounder gets off the shortstop into left, and there'll be runners at second and third. So a good start here for Oregon Blaze. And
that was great heads-up base running right there by number 00. She took off, and her coach waved her over. She picked that coach up halfway on her way to second, and there was no decision or hesitation. She was going to third and testing that left fielder's throw. She had to make the perfect throw and have the perfect tag in order to get her out. So now we got runners on second and third. Ideal situation here with your 3 batter up. Attempted squeeze, fouled back.
Now, when she's squaring around for that bunt, where does she want to put that with runners at second and third?
So first things first, you just got to get it down, right? You have a runner coming from third, so the pressure's on to protect your runner, first of all. Your next one, I would say, is to pick a corner. Your pitcher's coming straight in, so if you bunt it right back to her, she's got an easy flip, and you want to get it far enough to where your catcher can't just grab it and tag. Pass ball there, and that's probably a good decision here for that base runner. She's got no outs. She has so many more opportunities to score. She doesn't need to push it here.
Yeah, and surprisingly yesterday on the games we had on our field, you're going to see a lot of pass balls. That's the nature of softball, but the catchers did an excellent job. There was not a ton of girls coming home from third on pass balls. There was some. There always will be. But I thought the catchers did a really nice job yesterday.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. And especially adjusting to that turf, which is so hard. Just being on turf, that home plate sticks out just a little bit. So that little lip can kind of cause some problems. But it seems like these catchers have been adjusting and playing all their games yesterday. By today, I would say that they have a pretty good grasp on home plate and that turf and the way that ball skips.
And looks like our lineups are on the way, so we'll start getting a little more specific about things. And a strikeout there. Beautiful pitch froze her at the plate. Go ahead. That's right. Base hit in the left. That'll score 2 runs. So a nice swing on that, an RBI single. I believe that we just got rosters. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to check them over yet. Do I have my teams reversed? Sorry, getting things squared away. Unfortunately, the lineup cards get to the scorers table fairly late, and we're not first in line for those. So,
I'd have to say our whole staff this morning, all the girls were just thankful for sunshine this morning. Yesterday this time it was downpouring, so it's chilly out here this morning, and you can notice a couple girls trying to warm up their hands and making sure that they could feel those fingers, but at least the ball isn't slippery, so we are super grateful this morning.
Yeah, yesterday it was pouring rain for the first two games, but not as cold. It's a little colder this morning. I got better shoes, but my feet are still cold. So, all right. So, at the plate, none of. So that should be. That'll drop in for a hit. Not stopping at second. Headed to third. Getting in safely. That's Frost, the runner at third. The hitter at first is Mayhew.
And that right there was great work by the defense. You saw the cutoff coming through. And that outfielder making that throw low enough to where her cutoff can make that decision of which runner to go after. When that base hit is hit, you never know of where that lead runner is going to take off to. So giving that option to the cutoff and letting her then make the pickoff at first for that potential out, knowing that the girl at third is going to make it there safely. So that was an awesome job right out there by our right fielder.
So Kosmicki at the plate. If I get these names wrong, I apologize. We're having to work off the scorecard. The roster numbers on the roster, none of them match. So,
and they really should call it not doctor's handwriting, but
yeah,
we got coach's handwriting out here.
So they get the final out here in the top of the first, but little work to do already for the Vandals as they come up in the bottom half, trailing 2-0. Welcome back to bracket play here in the 2020 Fall Classic, USA Softball Oregon. Bottom half of the first. Oregon Blaze in the field and Northwest Vandals up to bat. And leading off for the Vandals, Taylor Kenworthy. Taylor out of McNary High School, future 2023 graduate.
I gotta say, from this whole tournament, I think the coolest thing has been seeing these girls, especially these younger ones, the sophomores that are here that are just absolutely representing. We had a whole 2023 team here yesterday, and they were just making such hard contact, and I just am so pumped to see of how much those girls grow and continue to get better, bigger, stronger, faster by the time they get to college. This game is so big, and so all the girls are just getting so much better, so much younger, and it's been awesome to watch.
Yeah, we've seen some really good talent out here, and I'm not surprisingly, but it's been fun to watch, and today should be no different. So a leadoff walk. It's the way you want to start an inning when you're already trailing 2-0.
Especially getting that leadoff on. That is so huge and such a momentum shifter. This game is all about momentum, of which team has the momentum. And so scoring 2 runs, obviously, in the top half of the inning is huge momentum. But going back in and, like you said, Jeff, walking that first runner can be a momentum changer. And we'll see how the rest of this lineup reacts.
That one fisted, put them where they ain't. And that one over the infielders into short left field. So first 2 runners on. I didn't even get to announce her. That was Alexis Beaumont. Alexis out of Staten High School. She will graduate this school year, 2021. And our next batter for the Vandals will be number 44. And that's Sadella Ritchie, Staten High School as well. And Sadella will also be graduating this year, another senior. And that will advance both the runners. So,
seeing if you're a coach right here, you have your ideal situation going on right here. You have your 1-2 punch, both in scoring position with your 3-4-5 meat of the order coming up. And this is quite literally the ideal situation to be looking to tie this ball game up, if not looking to take the lead. Got some sun peeking out. I'm putting my sunglasses on. Between the mask, the beanie, and the sunglasses, and the mic, just got all kinds. You can't even see who I am. Oh, maybe the sunglasses aren't a good move. They're fogging up on me.
So I don't think I got a chance to mention Ainsley Davis, the pitcher for Oregon Blaze Gold. And we'll get the pitcher for the Vandals when they come back in the field. That one off the handle foul. And this is kind of, we've seen a lot of this yesterday. The teams jumping out early. A lot of the runs, we saw a lot of runs scored in the first inning yesterday in all the games. And then everybody kind of settles in, and some of the games they just kept pounding away, but a lot of the games the pitchers kind of settled in and cruised through a couple of innings.
Yeah.
But the first inning has been a good inning for scoring this weekend.
That was a great spot right there for strike 3. Striking out that 3 hitter is huge for that, for our defense out there.
So next up will be Kaylee Satoff, Philomath High School. And these are the kind of situations where the pitchers really get tested. I had Hannah Lilly with me at the end of the night last night, and of course she's a pitcher for your team, and she was pointing out a lot of these situations where the pitchers really show what they've got here, and if she can pitch out of this jam without too much damage done, that'll really give her some confidence going through the game.
Yeah. And I think especially what you were saying, Jeff, is these pitchers getting settled into this turf and the different mounds. They're warming up and on the sidelines and without that rubber, and now they're kind of adjusting and getting used to that. So I'm wondering if how much that has to do with us seeing a lot of contact and a lot of hitting going on in the first couple innings of our games. And as the game goes on, we're seeing those pitchers really settle into their domain over there.
Well, we saw the rain yesterday being it really favors offense. The pitcher can't grip the ball well. The fielders, it's tougher to field the ball and throw the ball, and so I think that's part of the reason we saw a lot more offense yesterday, especially early in the day. But, it's cold and damp this morning, and so that rubber's probably a little wet. And, I think it probably takes them a few batters to get comfortable out there. Oh, good
pitcher
play. Throws the runner. They'll come home. And I'm assuming she's safe because they're still standing out there. I can't see the umpire, but so they do get a run across. But it was a good play. She froze the runner, got the out at first. They couldn't quite cut down the run at home, but that's the right play. She played it right.
Oh, yeah, and you could see she fielded that ground ball. She secured it. Then she checked the runner, took a couple steps, made the runner retreat just a couple steps, just to go through it with a fine-tooth comb. She could have looked her all the way back to the base, but she wanted to make sure she got that out at first. So.
Yeah, and it was close at first, so her timing was pretty good on that.
Yeah.
So the next hitter out of Westview High School will be Zoe Zimmer. She will graduate next school year. She's a junior. Well, and you saw that's a perfect example. That last play is why double plays are so tough in fast-pitch softball. Everything moves so fast, and the bases are so much closer together than baseball that you just don't have extra time for anything. And the run gets home on a pass ball, and they've tied it up. So,
I just remember in my travel ball days, it was just so crucial to get that 1-2 punch. When we're playing on a time clock, you got to get runs on as quick as you can. And so having that 1-2 punch, just getting on and getting runs in quickly, that is so the way to go.
And that one caught in foul territory, retires the side. So after 1-0 decided, we're tied up at 2 apiece. Welcome back to USA Softball Oregon. can't come up with the foul pop-up. These games are brought to you by TravelMedford.org. Second inning of play, 2 runs apiece in the first, so they'll see if they can make some separation here in the second. Northwest Vandals out in the field. Kylie Harris is the pitcher for the Vandals. Didn't get to mention that back in the first, but we'll get her recognized here. And number 36 leading things off. That is Faith Caller out of Roosevelt High School. She will be she's a senior, graduates 2021. So we saw a few home runs yesterday, Abby. Are you a home run hitter?
Absolutely not. But I respect so many others that are home run hitters. I am a slapper, so my job is to get on for the home runs. But, yeah, I am probably the loudest one in the dugout when home runs are hit because I have never hit one before. So I just get super stoked for everybody that does. But, yeah, we've seen, and like I said, those 2023s really showing up and showing out of just making solid contact. We had, I feel like this team, or this field yesterday, we had a ton of people just coming and watching.
That was a beautiful stroke there. She's
just like that,
Just a nice swing she put on that. Let the bat do the work and served it out into left. And I didn't even get to announce her. That was Rebecca Cupyers, Central Arizona College. She graduated in 2020. And our next hitter will be number 9, Ainsley Davis, out of Jesuit High School. This team with a mix of Oregon and Washington players. Well, now we've got a different batter. Did I miss something there? Throw down, and they got her. Lainey Weir, the catcher for the Vandals, gets it down there in time for the out.
And I'm always super curious. I've played for coaches that have been in both kind of mindsets of if you're fast and they know that you're going to go, you might as well just go first pitch. And then I've played for other people that like to wait a couple pitches. So great job by the catcher to just be on her toes all the time and ready for that first pitch steal attempt there.
So this batter 00 is Nevaeh Smith out of North Medford High School. So a local kid on one of these teams. Bounces back to the pitcher, can't leg it out, and that will end the inning. So nothing across here in the top of the second. Vandals coming up in the bottom half.
There's a time machine not so far away that takes you back to a world just a few streets wide, where wonder rules the day and families are transformed, from the smallest bug-eyed explorer to that surliest know-it-all. So dive into the past and let them see the world through a simpler lens called Southern Oregon. Their adventure begins when you travel Medford.
Dear Dad, I was afraid to say this to your face, but I heard you yelling again from the stands during my game. You were shouting at the coach, the refs, even the other parents. It embarrasses me when you yell at everyone. It really stresses me out. I love sports, I love my team, I just want to play, but not if you always lose your temper. Love, Katie.
Know your role. Learn more at southernoregonsports.com.
Bottom of the second, Northwest Vandals coming to bat. Taking the first pitch is number 35, Delaney Vibert. Delaney out of Madras High School. She's a senior.
See, my favorite umpires are the ones that I can hear from all the way down here.
Yes.
We had a couple that were a little delayed, and we were like, what was that? But some of them are like, thank you, sir. We got it.
Our last umpire yesterday, his hand signals were so slow. The next pitch was coming, and he'd finally make the strike call. And we couldn't hear him. So, yeah, those ones but I have to say, regardless of our complaints as broadcasters, the umpiring has been stellar this weekend so far. They've done a really great job.
Yeah, I was scorekeeping behind home plate for the last 3 games on this field yesterday, and we were just having a great time. It's fun as a ball player to get to have conversations with umpires. I'm like, hey, you guys are just humans too. and honestly, the way that they handle parents and people that are talking about bad calls is so great. I would not be able to do that. But they were like, listen, nobody's going to like what I do. So they just kind of have become numb to it. So now I know. Don't even say anything. It doesn't even bother them. They don't care.
Yeah, I have a friend I went to high school with, and that was a long time ago. He's a referee, umpire. I don't know what all the sports he does, but he does some college level stuff and a lot of college football that he does. And if I ever post anything on social media about complaining about a game, the umpiring or the refereeing in a game, I hear from him.
Yeah, he's like, hey, man.
Yeah, so shout out to my buddy Timmy B. If you're watching, I don't know. Tim probably watches 1 or 2 of my games just to see how bad I am on the mic. So we'll give him a shout out, see if I hear from him.
Well, we had 2 of our teammates on air yesterday for like most of yesterday because he was like, "You guys don't need me." And they were just talking the whole time, and we weren't getting complaints, so that's good. We do have a couple communications majors and things like that, and one digital cinema and all kinds of majors on our team. So getting to do stuff like this revolving around the sport we love is super fun.
So our next batter, Kylie Harris. And ouch. She's
in the cold, that stings.
And no chance to turn. She had squared to bunt, so that leaves you really vulnerable.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody wants to get hit in the front.
Or the cold.
No.
What's our temperature here this morning?
My toes say it's close to freezing, but I'm sure it's probably not quite that cold.
I got 41 degrees out here this morning.
Yeah, I got 39, so somewhere in that range. We're cold enough.
Not cold enough to where I was going to be late because my windshield was frosted over. So we're not there yet, but.
Yesterday was the rain and the wind.
Yes.
And I expect more wind today because, well, it's Medford.
See, and I'm a California native, so all of this is just weird.
Well, for a while there, you girls were taking turns coming over here to Field 3. And we kept getting closer to my hometown because one of the girls is from Petaluma.
Yeah.
And I grew up in Santa Rosa, so.
Oh, I got a ton of family in Santa Rosa.
So we started with the Sacramento area, and then we moved, got a little closer.
Yeah. The second one with yesterday, she was from Half Moon Bay. You don't hear that very often.
That's right.
And we had Redondo Beach, LA represent, and like you said, Petaluma. Yeah, most of our team is from a good chunk of California. We have a lot of junior transfers from College of San Mateo. They just produce studs over there. So if any seniors are looking for a junior college, that program is amazing.
So to add insult to injury, she was hit by that ball, but she must have fouled it off because she's still at the plate. So,
well, and to be fair, bunting, slapping, all that short game is, I don't know, in the college level you don't have to wear like the face mask on your helmet. And the girls that do that, I mean, hats off to them, but I'm a slapper and I bunt the ball right into my helmet all the time. That's just, when you're trying to spin that thing and you miss, that's just part of it.
Gets a nice swing on that, serves it out to right field. Catch is made. And we've got one out here in the home half of the second. And next up for the Vandals, number 4, Lainey Weir out of Sunset High School. Yeah, I needed a new cameraman. Joseph Brett was not going to be here today, and we thought we were going to get one of your digital media majors over here, but they sent me Chris instead.
You'll do.
Me and Chris got to work together 4 days about a month ago out here, and of course I've known Chris for some time. I started my broadcasting career doing his games in high school, so Chris and I go back a little bit. Chris's grandpa was my color announcer when I started radio.
Oh, so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that digital cinema major, she's my roommate, and she's so fun to live with.
Throw down. Kind of nonchalantly walked into second. That throw was a little closer, I think, than she thought it was going to be. Still got there safely.
Yeah, so we as a team yesterday, we were getting our dinner served to us. Our sweet coaches got us pizza. And we're realizing of how many cameras there are here, of all of the teams that are doing their own footage and recording different at-bats for coaches that aren't physically here. And we were like, we really got to watch what we say. Even when you don't have a mic on you, you got a mic on you all the time. We got all kinds of cameras.
Yeah, we figure
over here.
Anybody that was setting up behind home plate with their camera, they got free play-by-play done for them.
Oh, absolutely. Even when we weren't like out here with you in Table Rock, we were doing our own commentate. We were practicing.
Yeah, no, that's what the girls were telling me, that they've been commentating the whole time.
Yeah.
And I said, well, you're giving them free play-by-play.
Oh,
so.
yeah. And I mean, like, we were taking on like characters of like fake broadcasters, calling each other.
Yeah.
I stole your name. And I was Jeff. We were Jeff and Steve back there. We were commentating. So whoever was on field 3 yesterday, check your GoPros because you got some great footage. Hopefully you have audio because that is gold.
So our batter now, I believe, should be number 47, Sydney Holloway. Coming up here with 2 outs, runner out at second.
And it's these kind of situations where you got to clutch up. You got to keep it short. Just get the ball through the infield and let that runner score. 2 outs, she's ready to go. And 3-0, I wouldn't be surprised if you don't give her anything nice here and just walk her, take that force out.
Yeah, set up the force, and you don't want to. Although this is the number 9 hitter. But, again, that's sometimes the discretion is the better part of valor.
I was going to say, our lineup 1 through 9 is so solid. We have like 2 slappers as our 8 and 9. We got 2 more slappers as our 1, 2. And that, honestly, when we're turning over our lineup, that is when we are the most dangerous. It's when we have 4 slappers in a row. Out of those 4, you got to get at least 1, maybe 2 of us on base for the meat of the order coming up. So super interesting to see how these slappers pairing with those power hitters is making this game so cool.
Well, and just so you know, we talked about the slappers when Hannah was over here. And,
oh, yeah, we argue all the time.
Yeah, I'm sure she's happy that you're on her team because she wasn't really fond of slappers.
She gives me a hard time. Well, we scrimmage all the time. I mean, like in fall, especially this fall being a COVID fall. We're not allowed to scrimmage anybody but ourselves, so we have a lot of friendly disputes. And we all know each other's strengths and weaknesses and making each other better and all the things that we can do for fall to make us ready for real competition coming up in our spring season.
Out of South Salem High School, this is Gracie Fredenberg at the plate. Throw down to third in plenty of time, and out at third. That'll end the bottom half of the second, and looks like the runner may be shaking up on that. She started that slide a little early, and she may have bounced off the bag on the way through. I didn't quite get a good look at that, but we'll see if she's able to stay in the game. But that will do it for the second inning. We head to the third, tied up at 2.
There's a time machine not so far away that takes you back to a world just a few streets wide, where wonder rules the day and families are transformed, from the smallest bug-eyed explorer to that surliest know-it-all. So dive into the past and let them see the world through a simpler lens called Southern Oregon. Their adventure begins when you travel Medford.
Dear Dad, I was afraid to say this to your face, but I heard you yelling again from the stands during my game. You were shouting at the coach, the refs, even the other parents. It embarrasses me when you yell at everyone. It really stresses me out. I love sports, I love my team, I just want to play, but not if you always lose your temper. Love, Katie.
Know your role. Learn more at southernoregonsports.com.
First game of bracket play today. It's got the Northwest Vandals facing Oregon Blaze Gold. Oregon Blaze Gold at the plate. And the hitter is number 3. Maitland Leach out of North Medford High School. And she'll be the first out of the inning. Next up for the Blaze, number 18. And that'll be Delaney Duchek, Pendleton High School. Another senior. Comebackers. Quick 2 outs for the Vandals here. And so with 2 outs, up next should be number 15. And that would be we can find her here. Alice Edie Frost, Portland State, a 2020 graduate.
And that ball is absolutely smoked. And we have a lot of fog on the field, so it was really hard to tell if that ball was going out. But based off of contact, that ball was absolutely smoked out to, it looks like, a little closer to right center out there.
Yeah, I totally lost that ball. I heard it off the bat and never saw it again. Yeah, the fog has quickly kind of moved in out in center field and right field, and the sun is a little more obscured, and don't know if we're getting any smoke today. I'm hoping the rain cleared out all the smoke, but the fog has definitely set in out there.
Yeah, my weather app said haze, and I was like, oh man, it's going to be cold.
So the Blaze retake the lead. And next up for the Blaze.
And it is these situations to where you see these pitchers at a showcase. Yeah, you gave up a home run. That's going to happen. And that's going to happen throughout the rest of your career, but it's how you respond to those things that you can handle that and you can control that. And being able to keep that composure and answer back, show your defense and your team that you're good. Like, she hit a good pitch. What can I say? If you're hitting your spots, that's just part of it.
So Maddie Trout is the next hitter. And I give full apologies to Miss Frost there for missing the home run call on that, but that ball just disappeared. And they get the final out, but the Blaze get one run. Vandals will try and get it back as we head to the bottom half of the third.
What is a getaway? Is it leaving the familiar behind, or discovering a place that feeds your hunger, where passion sings, food is a culture, and every performance demands an encore? So let the journey be your destination. Then feast your eyes and nourish your soul in Southern Oregon. Your reservation starts when you travel Medford.
For several weeks, the Southern Oregon Sports Commission has shown you examples of good sportsmanship and bad sportsmanship. Here's why. 75% of youth athletes quit sports by the age of 13 because they're not having fun. 75% of rookie referees also quit each year. Why? Well, it's because of the way they're treated by coaches and parents. We can do better. We must do better. Know your role. Learn more at southernoregonsports.com.
Good heads up.
Bottom half of the third, and we're having too much fun out here. If you're local, come on out and watch some of these games. It's a lot of fun.
It's cold, but it's a lot of fun.
It is cold. You may want to wait till the noon game or something, but no, these girls are a lot of talent out here and a lot of fun to watch, and we're having a good time covering it.
Well, and now we're seeing that there's like a little more space for people to be able to socially distance sit, because yesterday all of our benches, our planter boxes, everything was soaked. So we were all just kind of huddling under the snack bar, but making it work. Yeah, now the fog's rolling in, and I can't even see on this field over here to what's happening over there. It's a little crazy.
Well, and I will say that's probably not a good suggestion because they were limiting how many people could be out here. So with COVID, unfortunately, these are pretty restricted, but that's why we've got some of these games on the air. So the Vandals batting here in the bottom half, trying to get that run back. They surrendered on that home run in the top half.
That pitch was just mowed through. That was some great velocity through there.
I can't see that. So they go back to the top of the order. That was Fredenberg on the strikeout. Now the top of the order, Taylor Kenworthy. This is these unis is something that some of the football teams love to do to us broadcasters. Dark blue jerseys with black numbers are almost impossible to read.
Well, we had, we had lime green jerseys yesterday with like a dark gray
gold.
number.
They were almost gold, yeah.
I cannot see.
No, you couldn't those. That was the Alaska team
Yeah.
that was out here in short sleeves in the pouring rain.
Yeah, they were fine.
Yeah, they didn't seem to care.
They're making us all look like it was like we were crazy.
Well, we are, but
Yeah, a little bit. I'm not denying that. Yeah, last night, our team just gets so excited I think it's kind of like this hunger of like watching so much softball that we just get so excited about it. And when you get here at 6 and you're still here at 7 p.m., like you just got to make it fun, and we start making jokes and having all kinds of fun. So, and honestly, like these girls have a long day too, so trying to spread that energy of like, you got this. It's cold. We're with you.
yeah, this is your third day out here because
Oh,
you guys
yeah.
had clinics on Friday.
Yeah.
There's a line shot stabbed at second. Beautiful play there over at second base.
Oh. I just had the strikeout button go up. That was not a strikeout.
Well, that's okay. That was for the first batter. We
Yeah,
wanted to
yeah,
make sure
yeah.
you knew about that first strikeout. 2 outs now here in the bottom half of the third. And our next hitter should be number 15, Alexis Beaumont.
You're seeing that outfield shift a little bit for that lefty slapper coming up, and just lefties in general have such a specific spin when you pitch them outside. That lefty spin. I'm personally a left fielder, and that spin will hook that ball right into the corner, and it's got a funky spin that will kick. So having a good read as a left fielder on those lefties is so important because if a mistake's made on a speedy lefty, it will cost a couple of bases.
Yeah, and I noticed the left fielder had moved in when the slap, when it looked like it was going to be a slap, and now that she's thinking she's swinging away, she's backed up considerably.
Yeah. And I mean, all growing up, I would swing away and I'd have coaches yell at me, like, why would you do that and take the chance of popping up? So, I mean, we have, I would say about half of our lefties on our roster are normal hitters and just power hitters, absolute studs, and then the other half is our lefty slappers. And even within lefty slappers, you have chop slaps just like that, and then you have some power slappers too that just like to get their momentum going and punch it right into the gap that goes to the fence. So all sorts of different players, and it's so cool. We were talking about it yesterday behind home plate of even every single pitcher has a different spin on her ball, and how many pitchers are there, and we all throw the same screwball, the same rise ball, the same curve ball, but they all are different.
Yeah, there's definitely, everyone's got a little different way that it gets up there.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing we've seen from a lot of the left-hand hitters, putting balls into this left field corner because the ball will hook away toward the line.
Yeah.
We saw quite a few balls roll right out of the opening in the fence.
Yeah. And this is a great at-bat right here. She's seen some pitches, obviously. She's got a full count. She's fouling off a ton of pitches. We've seen her swing away, foul ball straight back. We've seen her chop it into the ground. She's really reading each pitch as it comes and hitting them as they're pitched to her. Kind of confusing her outfield out here. Not sure how to play her, which I love to see that.
Oh, diving
Great
play over there at third base, and that'll take care of things in the third. And so after 3, the Blaze leading 3-2.
What is a getaway? Is it leaving the familiar behind? Or discovering a place that feeds your hunger? Where passion sings, food is a culture, and every performance demands an encore. So let the journey be your destination. Then feast your eyes and nourish your soul in Southern Oregon. Your reservation starts when you travel Medford.
For several weeks, the Southern Oregon Sports Commission has shown you examples of good sportsmanship and bad sportsmanship. Here's why. 75% of youth athletes quit sports by the age of 13 because they're not having fun. 75% of rookie referees also quit each year. Why? Well, it's because of the way they're treated by coaches and parents. We can do better. We must do better. Know your role. Learn more at southernoregonsports.com.
top half of the fourth. And the Oregon Blaze looking to add to their lead here. And leading off for the Blaze will be Mayhew.
And I think you can kind of see on the camera of how hazy and foggy it is here. Just took a sip of my coffee, and it's not hot anymore.
No,
it is ice cold.
It is ice cold. This is Maddie Mayhew, by the way, now that I've located her on the roster. And Maddie is out of Jesuit High School. She is a senior, and she is out on the play.
I got to say, though, that is probably – there's a lot of ways that you can get out, and I have to vote that worst. Because it's in foul territory, so you're just kind of watching, and you're like, please don't catch it. And then they do, and you're like, well, that's great. And especially when you're in an 0-2 count, she wasn't, but when you are, and you foul off a pitch, and you're like, dang, I'm doing my job. I'm fouling pitches off, and it gets fouled off into territory in a place where first or third baseman can locate it, or even the catcher, and you're like, dude, did my job. And it just happens to happen that way, so.
Kenzie Kozmicki up next, West Albany High School. Another senior on this Blaze Gold team. And I guess if the team is named Gold, you expect them to be seniors.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of the trend that we're finding. Well, we had in our camp, we had a couple of the Blaze girls that were wearing different unis, and we were like, who's who? And we're all like scouting, like, what girls we get to cheer on. Because obviously, like, we see girls in the camp and we've bonded, right? And so we're like, we're homies. Please say hi. But I think they get a little nervous around us. Like, come on, we're just like big sisters.
Faith Collar out of Roosevelt High School at the plate. And we may get a quick 1-2-3 inning here. We do. The Blaze go down in order. And the Vandals will come up looking to get that run deficit erased.
Everyday heroes live life full circle. Fill up and use your enrolled kickback card so you save 16 cents a gallon at the pumps. Get what you need when you need it. And remember, we reward all heroes with kickback cards at My Circle K. And if a call goes out for another heroic appearance, no problem. We have that one covered too, with our state-of-the-art car wash systems. Be the hero you were meant to be. Heroes living life full circle.
Dear Dad, I was afraid to say this to your face, but I heard you yelling again from the stands during my game. You were shouting at the coach, the refs, even the other parents. It embarrasses me when you yell at everyone. It really stresses me out. I love sports. I love my team. I just want to play, but not if you always lose your temper. Love, Katie.
Know your role. Learn more at southernoregonsports.com.
Davis, the pitcher for the Blaze. And our first hitter for the Vandals. And I set myself up for disappointment there because I can't see the number here. Well, I don't blame her.
I'd be freezing.
I'm about to put another layer on myself. Yeah, that sun peeked over those trees, and we thought, man, this is going to be beautiful. And then the fog came in, and I can barely see the right fielder at this point.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, and it's like I'm looking at our camera view right here, and I can hardly see the foul pole, which is like bright yellow on the other side of the field. And I'm like, ooh. Makes saying heads up a little harder, or more important, I guess I should say.
Grounder past the bag at third, just foul. That one missed by inches, but as we said in one of the games yesterday, the old cliche, baseball is a game of inches.
Absolutely. Well, and that was some of the things that we were able to teach a lot at our camp was, like, we're getting to the age and the time where throws have to be perfect, the way that you field things have to be perfect, and the difference between a couple inches is, and I mean, obviously slapping is a huge part of that, and pitching is a huge part of that, of how much a quarter of a ball off the plate can make a huge difference, and the umpire has every right to call that off the plate if it is.
Yeah, it's definitely the case, and it makes errors that much more costly at this level.
Absolutely.
Because they will make you pay. Nice play there, the second baseman calling off the first baseman to make that play. She had to go to her knees to get to it, but made it. If you call for it, you better get it.
Yeah, 100%. And that was I got to work with some of the outfielders and doing some outfield drills of going over priorities, but if you're not the center fielder, you can still call that ball early, and having that conversation as an outfield and being able to work as a unit. And the same goes for infield.
There's a drive to right. That'll be a base hit for that left-hand hitter. I believe that's Sydney Holloway, but I'll confirm that here with the next hitter.
See, our third baseman doesn't have any sleeves on right now, and I'm like, go girl. I don't know how you're doing that, but go you. We're all like bundled up.
Yeah, she might be another Alaskan native or something.
Or just tough. Well, and just keeping an eye on our clock. We do have 19 minutes left. We hit that hour mark, and I'm not completely sure if they're doing the same for today for our bracket play.
I think the bracket games are the same. The championships may be different, but
gotcha.
I think the bracket games up to the championship are hour and 20. Can't start another inning after an hour and 20. That one popped up, and that's going to be an infield hit. And I believe that was Gracie Fredenberg. Again, the numbers, yes. Let's see, 30. No, I'm sorry. That was Zoe Zimmer.
Now that's a name.
So the Callie Sathoff is the runner at second, Zimmer over at first, and Delaney Vibert at the plate. I apologize. I know you parents out there watching are probably going, that's not who that is. And
maybe you should just, I can do the names and they can get mad at me.
Yeah, I'm trying to mention all the names, even kids that aren't even on the team. We're just covering the bases.
All of them. Hello.
Yeah, pun intended, by the way.
Oh, nice, nice, okay.
And we do appreciate all you watching, and we know we got some coaches and scouts out there. We got parents and family and friends, and this time of COVID, we're happy that we can be here to put these games on.
Yeah, if you just look out onto the turf, just on a surface level, it literally looks icy from the morning dew, and now it's like almost freezing temperatures. So,
well, and the turf was starting to look drier, and that fog rolled in, and now it's
2 seconds of sun.
It's as damp as can be.
Yeah. Not as damp as yesterday, though. So, still thankful. Don't get me wrong, but. So now we got runners on first and second, and one out. So typically we have this runner up at the plate, has a job to move those runners and get rid of that force out. The tricky thing is that if she were to put down a sack bunt, if she is not the kind that can run out a bunt or beat out a bunt, and she's got a kind of what we call hit behind the runners. So she's looking for something, hopefully, to take to that right side so that she can allow that runner to maybe score or at least just get them over to second and third to get rid of that force out and more in a scoring position here.
And the count goes full now, 3-2 to Vibert. Yeah, with nobody out, you almost guarantee this is a sacrifice situation. With one out, middle of the order, hard to say. She may be swinging away here on a 3-2 especially, and she does.
And I forever will stand by this, that 3-2 is probably the biggest head game that you can play with yourself as a batter, of not wanting to swing at ball 4, but also not wanting to get rung up. So it's so just attack mode of just trusting your tracking drills that you've been doing and just making sure that you're really seeing the ball. As simple as that sounds, that is literally all of it right there. That was a great take to load up the bases with only 1 out.
Well, and I got a funny look from Hannah last night, but I said except when the bases are loaded, which is a different situation, a 3-2 count to me is a pitcher's count. The pitcher has the advantage there, and I know a lot of people would disagree with that, but I think the pitcher has the mental advantage over the batter on that situation. Again, I know there's a lot of people that don't agree with that, and Hannah, I think, was one of them. But
well, Hannah, so that's my roommate. I don't know if you knew that. We live together, and she will tell you exactly what she's thinking, and her face does not hide what she's thinking, so I'm not surprised by that. But yeah, she's an awesome pitcher. She actually transferred from Southern Utah University, and she made this actually really cool documentary. And just to kind of bring that up for those of you who are in the middle of the recruiting process, parents of people who are in the recruiting process, D1 is great, and not to miss here, but it's not everything. There are special programs that are in the NAIA, D3, junior colleges, every route. There's a route built for everybody, and it's just whatever fits you, and making sure that when you are going on visits, that it's a town that you want to live in, the coach that you want to spend a lot of time with, girls that you want to spend a lot of time with. The commitment levels range from playing softball 7 days a week to practicing every other day. There's all sorts of programs out there, and you can definitely find one that is suitable for you.
Yeah, for sure. Our new pitcher for the Blaze, Alicete Frost, coming in relief.
And as somebody who's never, ever been a pitcher, I took a couple pitching lessons when I was 11. Don't get me wrong. So, however, as amateur as I am as a pitcher, this is the kind of situation that when coaches are watching, how do you respond? These aren't your base runners. This isn't a jam that you got yourself into. And this is you purely needing to pick up your teammate. And how to get out of this coming into a bases loaded situation tells a lot, and how your body language is. The way that you command the zone coming out at this first batter here is huge to tell of how you are as a pitcher when you get into these sorts of situations.
So next up for the Vandals, this should be, I don't know if I lost my place here already.
Hey, Coach.
Should be Kylie Harris coming up, number 1. Comes up with the bases loaded, new pitcher in the game, and
I do have to brag on this Vandals coach. He was one of the first ones that got us. He had our lineup to our official scorebook about 20 minutes before the game was even going to start, and so we appreciated that.
Yeah,
greatly.
we do. We do appreciate first and last names as was asked for, but not always delivered.
Oh, I accidentally pressed that twice. There you go, Chris. There's some more music for you. Got a ball fouled off. Back to working back from that 2-0 start.
Yeah, tough situation to come in here with the bases loaded, only 1 out. But we saw a relief pitcher come in last night with a 3-ball count. That's a no-win situation.
Yeah.
She managed to throw ball 4 on the first pitch, and
yeah.
I got to say, I don't blame her.
Yeah. Now we're looking 3-1, and as a hitter here, you got to know that she does not want to walk you, and you're probably going to see her go-to pitch here in a 3-1 count, knowing that she does not want to obviously walk in that run, but obviously doesn't want you to hit anything into the gap. So this is her go-to pitch here. And there it is right there. From this angle, we can't really tell exactly what that is, but
No, she took a little off that. I'm not sure what that pitch was. The coach was kind of blocking the view there, but yeah, she took a little off of it and made sure she got it in the strike zone.
3-2.
Oh, same pitch with a little more pace on it.
That is a huge out. When you were in a pickle right there and you have one out, to be able to get that second out so that a pop fly or anything like that, runners cannot tag and then score anymore. So that was a huge out right there.
Yeah, she froze her with that one, and with 3-2 you got to be swinging anything close, but she just put it in a spot where she didn't expect it and took the strike. That one popped foul. Oh, tried to make the play going out the gate over there at first base, and
I don't even know if that's allowed.
well, I think her glove made contact with the ball before it left the field, but then she fell right out the gate. They're checking, make sure she's okay.
What do you call that? The concussion protocol here?
Yeah, that's the modified concussion protocol. We saw one yesterday that was.
I got some more info on
a quick
that.
eye check.
Yeah, so I guess that we had a girl that we had a runner going, and she was out of the batter's box. The catcher made a throw to go attempt to throw out the runner, and the batter was not in the batter's box. And she got hit in the head by the throw from the catcher, and she was just coming off of a concussion, so that's why they were checking her out.
And Lainey Weir pops it up. Oh, and it's dropped. The throw gets away from the first base. This is going to be a big mistake here. 3 runs come in, and all the way to third is the batter, Weir, and that's a costly error. We just talked about that the errors they'll make you pay, and we had 2 errors on that play. That ball dropped and then thrown away, and the Vandals jump out in front, and now that ticking clock has shifted over in favor of the Vandals as they take a 5-3 lead.
Yeah, 2 outs, that's huge, and such a testament to when you're in that situation, just put the bat on the ball and make that defense work. And like you said, these errors, and the biggest thing is if you drop a ball or whatever, the biggest no-no is to not throw it away or make a second error, because errors like to snowball, and that is exactly what happened there. So this resiliency factor from this defense out here from the Blaze is going to be huge in getting out of this inning.
Yeah, we've seen the Blaze with some pretty good offense, so if any team can battle back in the next inning, this Blaze team can do it.
Yeah. And I think we have a couple Blaze teams here, and sitting behind home plate, those girls just do not hit the ball soft. Like, every single bit of contact these girls were making was just solid contact and just being hard outs.
Yeah, it's interesting how you see certain programs have certain strengths, and you're right. This Blaze team, a lot of time first ball hitting yesterday, and they hit the ball hard, so there's no reason they can't get these runs back. But they got to finish getting out of this inning now.
It's like the dreaded third out. Being stuck at 2 outs as a defense is such a head game. You just never feel like you're going to get out of it. Or feeling like you're so close you can kind of sit back a little bit, and that might just be what happened with that defense right here.
And I believe this is Sydney Holloway at the plate. Again, the numbers are hard enough, but with this fog, it's
So we got 2-2's our count with 2 outs. Same thing, you have a runner at third, just keeping it small. And a big thing that our program likes to say is don't make it too big.
Good cut on that, fouls it out of play. Game already over on the field next to us, so they've provided us a soundtrack in the background. I'm not sure what it is about field 3. The umpires have rotated. It's not always the same umpires. It's definitely not the same teams, but we seem to be the last game to start all day long.
That was strike 3 right there looking, but I'm going to stick up for those umpires because I got to sit next to them yesterday.
No, I'm not blaming. That's what I'm saying. I'm not blaming the umpires.
No, they're so fun, and that might be why they're running behind.
Yeah, no, it can't be the umpires
so
because
maybe it's my fault.
We get different.
I might have been talking to them.
That's it. It is your fault.
Oh,
I'm sure not taking the blame. I am the only constant factor here, but I'm not taking the blame.
Yeah,
So-
well, I like to talk to people around me, so maybe it was all my fault. But with a 2-out error, now we have the Vandals are up 5-3 as we go into
And
the
with-
top of the fifth.
With about 6 minutes remaining on the game clock, this will probably be the last inning. So the Blaze going to have to get these runs back. And while they warm up, let's talk about our sponsors. Today's action is sponsored by TravelMedford.org in the heart of beautiful Southern Oregon, where outdoor adventures abound. Crater Lake, the Rogue River, Mount Ashland, and miles of hiking and biking trails are just the start. You can learn more at TravelMedford.org. Top of the fifth, scoreboard still showing the fourth, but we are in the top half of the fifth. The Vandals, the home team, out in the field. And this, with under 5 minutes left on the hour and 20-minute clock, this may be it for the Blaze, so they're going to have to get those runs back. But a ground out from the leadoff hitter, that was number 7. And we'll find you here. Rebecca Cupyers at a Central Arizona College. She was a 2020 graduate. And next up, well, they changed hitters earlier in the game, so I'm going to wait and let you know who this is. Yeah, see, they don't have 00 on their roster. I apologize, but
Possibly could be having some different unis today.
yeah, they've had to change. They do have different unis today, and I remember Davis was due up. Her last at bat did not. They brought her back from the plate, and since then I've lost track. I don't know who 00 is. I do apologize. They don't have a 00 on the scorecard. They have a 0, which would be the top of the order. Now maybe maybe they've dropped a hitter from the lineup, and they're back at the top of the order.
Have their flex written at the bottom there,
which would be Nevaeh Smith. So that may be, I think that is Nevaeh Smith. She's listed as 0, but 000. We won't quibble.
Well, being at the top of the lineup when you're trying to catch up a couple runs is not a bad situation to be in. Just getting those quick lefty slappers on base for those power hitters to come up and do their job. Again, like you said, we only have 3 minutes left on the clock, so we're probably getting a little strategic here and stretching this inning to make sure that this is the last inning, but we will see how this all turns out. We're seeing a great battle here. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Walking a lefty slapper has got to be one of the biggest no-nos in the game. Now you got some speed out on the base paths as the heart of the lineup is coming up to try and tie up this game. You got 2 minutes, just a little under 2 minutes on the clock now.
So that was Nevaeh Smith at the top of the order. So the number 2 hitter coming up, and that would be Maitland Leach out of North Medford High School.
And just to keep in mind, we're down 2 runs here, so just to keep the base running and making sure that our runner on first does not tie up the game. So to know that her run essentially does not win the game is huge, to make sure that we get both of these girls on base, and we do need two base runners to make this happen in this last part of the inning. It's looking like.
And of course, the Vandals in response to that will be, they will line up the defense accordingly, knowing that the front runner is not going to matter if more runners get on base. They're not worried about winning by 1 or 2. They're worried about getting tied up or losing the game. Good play at first, advances the runner, but again, without another run coming home, that runner won't make a difference here. And down to a minute, so this will be the last inning. So this is last chance for the Blaze, and they've got to do it now with 2 outs.
Unfortunately, they do have their 3-hitter coming up, so hopefully at least stringing together. Unfortunately, now we do need to string together a couple base hits to make this happen.
This is Delaney Duchek out of Pendleton High School. And she gets ahead in the count, 2-0. First base is open, but you don't really need to set up the force. You don't want to put that tying run on base. With 2 outs, you want to concentrate on getting this batter.
So a 2-1 count. This is what we call a hitter's count. You're not expecting the walk yet, but you're also expecting her to want to even the count here and seeing a good pitch, which she does, and ropes it down the right field line, which will score our runner at second and put her exactly where she needs to be in scoring position. That was a clutch hit right there.
Yeah, clutch hit, and then at the end of that play, great base running. She didn't run over the bag more than a couple of steps, knowing they would be trying to throw in behind her. And you don't want to make that third out on the base pass.
Absolutely.
So
again, knowing that bigger picture now we got a 1-run ball game, and here is going to be the biggest clutch hit here. And again, just keeping out of your head and, like I said, not making it too big and just trying to poke it right in a hole.
So they are going to. So was that a?
See, I'm not sure.
Was that an intentional walk? Can they? No. Can they give? Yeah, can they give automatic intentional walks?
I believe so, just for the sake of time. I know for college ball, we definitely have to run that or go through that whole process in case there were to be a pass ball or anything like that. But I'm not sure if they're trying to get a courtesy runner or anything like that.
Yeah, I think they're going to give her a courtesy runner, but
to be honest, it's not. The only difference that it would make for a speedy runner on first would be if there was a force out at second. But that runner essentially does not need to score.
Now, wait a minute. Now she's coming back. She's coming back to the plate. So there was maybe an equipment issue, and then we do get a courtesy runner out at second. So they had us a little confused there, but that must have been an equipment issue.
Somebody took somebody's helmet.
Yeah.
That happens so often, though. I don't know if that's actually what happened. I'm making that up. Our cameraman's got $5 on it, so we'll get that info after the game, see what actually happened there. That's my favorite part, is checking in with my teammates. I was like, what was with this? They're like, oh, no big deal. I was like, okay, well, from left field it looked huge, so.
That pitch, high and away. I don't think they're going to give her anything to hit.
Yeah, they might be that. Like I said, that intentional walk, it's still something that you have to go through. Like I said, in case there were to be a pass ball or if that runner could advance to third. We in our bullpens, we do work on that, either a pitch out or whatever you want to call it, for an intentional walk, or if you know that a runner's stealing or any situation like that, to have a pitcher be able to hit that spot is a skill of its own. So
the Vandals thinking the same thing Chris, our cameraman, was thinking, that she was going to drive this one out of the park. And the Vandals said, no, we're going to make sure that doesn't happen. That pitch a little closer. We thought they were walking her, and they left that one too close to the plate. She took a cut at it.
See, I will say I have been intentionally walked once. Slappers, I feel like I wouldn't intentionally walk us because we will hit base hits, but also just knowing how to poke a ball. See, that looked like a pass ball right there.
Well, I'm going to assume if you got intentionally walked, Abby, first base was open.
No, we had a runner on first and second, and I remember this vividly because of the second half of the story. We had runners on first and second. It was last inning. We were down by 1 run, and our girl behind us had struck out. The girl that was hitting behind me, our 2-hitter, had struck out twice that day. So, and I think I was just getting those little bleeder hits or whatever. So they walked me, get the force out. Our 2-hitter comes up absolutely pissed because she's a power hitter, right? And she's like, really bet you're going to walk a slapper and come take a hit at me. And she ended up hitting a grand slam and we won. So it was pretty sweet.
So for the baseball fans in the audience, when you look at the scorecard, there's 2 on and 2 out, and you're down by a run, and you see that the next hitter is M. Trout, you get a little worried. Now, this happens to be Maddie Trout from the Dalles High School, but nonetheless, if you're a pitcher and the game's on the line, you don't want to see someone named Trout walk into the plate.
Yeah, absolutely not. that was good.
So big situation here. This will decide the game here with 2 outs. And a good pitch there, fouled off.
Yeah, and it is these situations that when coaches are watching, just to see how you react. The outcome of it isn't exactly maybe fully telling of how you are as a ball player, but what is telling is how you react, how you keep your composure, how your pitch selection remains the same, knowing what pitches you hit well. Not getting angsty, staying in control, and control what you can control in the at-bat.
Popped up. It's going to be a tough play, and it drops in.
Oh, man.
And this game is tied.
I think they had 2 runs come across.
Did they get 2 runs?
Oh, maybe there was just 1. Oh, yeah, we just had our 1 runner on first, and now we have a runner on third. I didn't see her on third. Here we are.
Yeah.
She's in a sweatshirt.
Now, had those runners been at second and third, then the Vandals would be batting in the bottom half trying to get the game back. But as it sits right now, runners at second and third, the game tied. And at the plate, and I got to think that this fog and the sun, the way it is right now, we've seen 2 drop balls. They've got to be fighting those pop-ups.
Oh, absolutely.
And this is Mayhew at the plate for the Blaze. We are in the top of the 5th. The scoreboard still says the 4th, but the Vandals will get a chance to bat in the bottom half. This one driven foul.
Oh!
Almost took out a spectator with that one.
I was going to say heads, but I didn't want to hurt our viewers' ears, so I have a pretty loud voice.
Got to be quick on the cough button
right.
when you do that.
Yeah. There's a cough button? I'm just kidding.
Unfortunately, no, it's a knob, so it's a little tougher to deal with.
Hey, I'm the rookie here, so.
That one out into center, right to the center fielder.
That was a stroke.
And the Vandals will be coming up trying to see if they can get a run across and win this game.
It's championship day, so we have to have a winner here.
Yeah, bottom half. Well, you get regardless of the time limit, you get your cuts in the bottom half of the inning. So the Vandals with the lucky draw of being I'm not sure. I didn't see if they did coin tosses again or if they're giving, because all of.
I was talking to Bill.
Yeah?
Bill and Sherry got a guy.
They do? How did they get a guy?
Everything happened online, including financing. And their guy even.
I didn't actually find that out. I'll maybe try and find that out before the next game.
Yeah. We have a huge bracket over on the other side of our snack shack and bathroom area over there.
I know yesterday during pool play they were flipping a coin for the home team.
Yeah.
So, and in fact, one of the Oregon Blaze teams we saw, they played back-to-back games here on Field 3,
Yeah.
and they were the visitors for both games. So
Yeah.
they lost both the coin tosses.
And that's where you get a new coach up there and you say, hey,
Yeah.
struggling, man.
But they won both those games, which is why they're here in
Yeah.
this game this morning. So half an inning to go, and this one's gotten interesting.
I'm going to sneeze. Son.
This is we're keeping this real here on air. This is like a podcast. We don't turn the mics off for anything.
He told me there was a cough button halfway through this game. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Well, it's a knob. It's not a button.
Oh, a cough knob.
I wasn't.
That doesn't sound good.
No, it doesn't. Oh boy, we're having some fun out here. Bottom half of the fifth. This will be it. The Vandal. Well, I don't know if they'll play farther for a win. We actually should have confirmed
that ball was driven right into the glove of our left fielder out here.
Yeah, well hit, but right at the left fielder, and one out.
And I said it yesterday, but I will stand by it. Softball is such a weird game of you can hit a ball so well and square it up so perfectly, and it's an out. And then you see a little slapper or a little squib hit, and they're standing on first, and you're like, dude, this sucks.
I can't.
Oh, we're in the bottom of the fifth now.
Yeah, bottom five. And either one of you two want to help me what numbers at the plate? I cannot read
Yeah,
these
I
black
can't
numbers.
see anything. Maybe our camera guy can get you a little zoom in over there. I don't know. Is she wearing a sweatshirt on our batter?
Oh, of course, she turns around as soon as we look for that tight shot. She wanted the mug for the camera, I think.
Yeah, she did. 23.
It is 23, so top of the order, Taylor Kenworth. So that was Fredenberg that flied to left, one out, and Taylor Kenworthy, at the plate.
All right, even in the count there. Oh.
A lot of symmetry out on that scoreboard right now.
Yeah, we do.
1-1-1-5-5-5-0-0-0-0. And now 2-1. So there went my ADD just kicked back in.
Ah, dang it.
Or is that OCD? Sorry, I get
a little bit of both.
I get my mental illnesses mixed up. I've got so many of them I can't keep track. And the count 3-1, and the Vandals definitely would like to get a runner on here with one out.
Especially that leadoff.
Put the pressure on the infield and on the catcher.
It's a great spot right there.
Yeah, it takes a strike, and now she'll have to protect here, 3-2. Right back to the first baseman. Easy play, steps on the bag. And there's two outs. So if the Vandals don't score, we'll find out if there can be ties in bracket play. I'll be honest, there were so many differences in the rules from day one to day two. I don't have them all memorized.
Having to organize 32 teams, I feel like you need a couple rules.
Yeah, a few. It was 2.5 pages. So, a little slapper is going to be caught. And the Vandals go down in order here in the bottom half of the fifth.
And now we've got a game, dang it.
Yeah, we do, because they're heading out on defense. So, yeah, we got to get a winner in this one. So, as the tradition was yesterday, we'll be the last field finished once again. They've already started next door. They must have started early over there. Although the first couple of games, and they don't have a 2-hour window anymore. That was an hour and 45-minute window, and we're probably going to blow past that here. We're at an hour, almost an hour and 35, and Nothing has been decided. So much like the first inning, where they ended the inning tied at 2 apiece, still nothing decided. So leading off the inning for the Blaze, Kenzie Kuzmicki, West Albany High School. Oh, okay, here we go. So
Looks like we're heading into international now that we have a runner on second.
I just, yeah.
So we did not see her.
I didn't see her go out there.
So the rule there is that we have our last out from the previous inning becomes the runner. So number 21 for the Blaze happened to be that runner. And we started off with a wild pitch. So she is already advanced up to third. And usually rule of thumb is that if you are coming up in international rule, you are bunting her over to third to give the rest of your lineup the best chance to score her, including a pop fly or anything like that. So now that she's already kind of gotten a free pass to third base, the pressure is on this defense to hold her off. And 3-0 is the count.
So kind of similar to the overtime in college football. If you're the first team with a chance to score, you want to put points on the board, whether it's a field goal or a home run. So this situation, you get that runner at second. You want her home. You want that one run no matter what. If you get more, you'll take it, but you want that one. And good play at third to hold the runner, make the play across.
Yeah, she did a great job making sure first and foremost that she got that ball into her glove, because if that gets by her, that ball is going down the line, and that's a big mistake. So securing that ball right into her pocket, then taking a step back to the runner to see if she can get that out. She was safe back at home, or back at her base at third, turning to make a great throw to first. That was a great job. That was picture perfect.
So this should be Faith Collar at the – no, wait a minute. I'm off on my numbers again. 32 is Emily Hughes.
Looks like we got the squeeze down.
And the run will come home. And then the runner at first falls. She'll have to retreat back to first. She slipped on this wet turf. She ran through the bag, and then when she tried to make her turn towards second, down she went. So she'll be at first, but the run does come across.
And Jeff, you asked earlier about that squeeze and of where to place that, and that was exactly it. It wasn't right at the catcher, so the catcher had to stay home. But the first baseman was coming through and had to wait for the catcher to kind of get resituated. That ball was far enough from home plate to protect her runner coming from third, but also wasn't enough to blow it by them or anything like that. So that was an awesome place squeeze, getting that ball down.
And so next up, number 7 is Rebecca Cupyers.
We got that sun peeking out, burning off some of that fog.
We'll take it.
Absolutely.
So I believe that last batter was a pinch hitter, and I wonder if they pinch hit her because she's a good bunter.
That's possible.
Because if there's any situation where that would be the right call, that would be it with that runner at third.
So now with a runner on first with one out. Trying to get that bunt down to get her into scoring position, but now she is unfortunately with 2 strikes taking away that bunt option for her. Fortunately, she is a lefty, so the short ball isn't completely ruled out, but she's going to have to swing away or slap in order to get this ball to avoid the double play. Fouling off that one to protect herself. And that outside corner as a lefty is, especially with, if you have a pitcher that has a great curveball, you just have to protect that outside corner because it gets hard to tell of where that umpire is calling that outside. So she did a great job protecting herself and fouling that pitch off there.
Popped up on the infield, and the second out is made. Of course, the Vandals would like nothing more than to keep this to a one-run inning, give themselves a better chance in the bottom half. Umpires for the next game are over here waiting for this one to end. Throw down. Oh! And now she's out. She overslid the bag. The first tag missed her. The second tag gets her out at second. And so the Vandals will come up once again trying to get this run back and maybe one more if they can. Our next game on this field coming up next will be another Oregon Blaze team out of Pool H, and they will be taking on Hype Fast Pitch. That'll be our next game here on Field 3, but we're not done with Game 1 as the Blaze now with the lead will try and protect it here in the bottom half of the inning. And you're the softball expert, so I assume that the Vandals will also get a runner out at second base.
Yeah. Well, and
seems like the fair thing to do.
Yes, absolutely. So whoever their last out again for the Vandals will head out to second base. And here, this pitcher has got to be dialed in here, knowing that this batter is going to bunt. They, like I said in the last half inning, putting a runner on third base just kind of widens the ways that she can score, whether it be a pass ball, a fly ball, anything like that. So getting that runner to third is crucial. So getting that bunt down, knowing that most pitchers are looking to throw that rise ball just to hopefully pop that up and get that first out to kind of take away that option. Either way, though, a base hit will score her. So if she were to get into a two-strike situation, that is always an option.
Throw down to second on that first pitch, not in time. Trying to see who our batter is here.
So there's that bunt laid down beautifully right there.
And they throw it away. She'll be safe. Oh, I almost ran into an out there. That ball was rolling out towards second, but she holds it first, and the run comes home, and this one is tied at 6. So not only did she get the sacrifice down perfectly, but the bad throw cost the Blaze a run, and now they're in control here to try and get one more pushed across.
Yeah, and right there, that was a beautifully placed bunt right down that third base, pulling that third baseman away from her base so that she now forces the shortstop to have to cover third if they were to try and turn that and try and get the runner at third. But as you could see, that ball getting away was huge for this Vandals offense.
This puts a little more pressure on the catcher as well. Mm-hmm. You don't want a pass ball to allow a base runner to advance and get back into scoring position.
Yeah, absolutely. So here we are with no outs. The score is now tied. We have a runner on first.
I believe our game yesterday here on Field 3, I believe the Vandals came from behind in that game to win.
I think you're right.
And they're looking to do it again here. We're going to get a courtesy runner heading over to first.
And this is a total switch from some of the base running strategy that we had talked about earlier about knowing that you are the winning run. So there is a lot of eyes on you, so making sure that your leads aren't anything huge, but enough to, if there were to be a pass ball, to be able to safely advance. So staying within control, but also being aggressive still to be able to take that next 60 feet. So our pitcher here evens the count. We're looking at 1-1. A bunt is still an option. Again, wanting to hit behind that runner to advance her to second in any way that we can.
Swinging a drive. That one is hit
baby.
well, and that one is gone. A walk-off home run, and the Vandals will win this one 8-6.
I was going to say, she's not putting the bunt down. She better hit a dinger. I should have said it.
Callie Sathoff with the 2-run homer here in the bottom of the 6th.
Absolutely getting it done for her team here on championship day. That is something that coaches hear some momentum.
And
that's awesome.
That's going to do it. The first game here on Field 3 in the books. Northwest Vandals get the victory over the Oregon Blaze Gold. Final once again, 8-6.
It looks like we got another walk-off on the field next to us as well.
And that
it's a walk-off kind of day here.
And that'll do it. So for my cameraman, Chris Campbell, and my color announcer, Abby Lewis, I'm Jeff Smith, and you've been listening to USA Softball Oregon on Table Rock Sports.